Welcome to Tech Compilation. So in this tutorial, in this video, we are basically going to discuss one of the very important features which is available, the process route, which is available into the Dell Boomi. So basically, in the process route, we need to create the two component. Uh, we can say it's one is the process root component, one is the process root shapes. So basically, whenever we need to use the basically process root shape, for that it is the dependent. There will be one dependency will be needed called the process root component. And so basically what now the question is the what is the basically the process root say how it is going to work. So we can say like we have seen in the root shape, we have already seen into the Dell Boomi as well as the process call steps. So these are the two different techniques which is available how we can route the documents from the one transition to another transition, and how basically we can use the process call steps to basically invoke the sub process. So to establish a parent-child relationship, the parent-child communication, we can use the process call steps on the basis of the certain expression, which is like we need to routing the certain document from the one transition to another transition. By using that, we can use the route set. So that is the two different way by which we have already seen. Now the process root shape is the basically the combination of these two shapes. So process root shape allow you to select an execution path dynamically, which is nothing but at the runtime based on the sum of the value. So that value is called basically the uh, route value. And what kind of the route value we can use? So we can use the document property, data profile, as well as the extension values. Okay. And there is the one features we need to, or you can say the one characteristics of this process route. If that process route and all of its sub process can be deployed independently. So that is the very interesting and good, like one shape is available, like basically which we can use, which is the combination of the route as well as the process concepts. So let's see how we can use this. So this is the our process we have developed. So let me tell you like what we have done. So basically we have created taken the two XML profiles. Okay, one XML profile for our request, another XML profile is for our the response. So this is the our request profiles. Yeah, so we have here to understand these things, we have taken one of the XML profile called the calculators. Okay, so that is the calculator request we have taken. In that particular XML profile, what we are passing one request information which has the operand 1, operand 2 and opcode. So opcode is basically nothing but our the operation code. Okay, so we will have the, and the type of this request is nothing but our what you can say, that is the unbounded, which is the repeating. So multiple requests will be there, and on the basis of the opcode the different operation will be identified. We'll see here. And here is our response profiles, the XML profiles. Here we have taken the just the response and we are capturing the result here. Now coming to our the processes. So looking into the processes, what we have created the different processes. You can say the sub processes. So we have created one of the, let's see this addition. So after explaining the one, remaining are the similar one. So we have taken the different like addition sub process, multiplication sub process, subtraction and division. So what basically we are doing in this process, we'll see. This is the start step. The start step is nothing but the data pass through. So which means whenever you are using the process route step, which is you are going to call it dynamically, it is mandatory whatever the sub process you are defining or you are tagging in that process route step, that must use the start step as the data pass through. So that is the data pass through, which means the parent process successfully or maybe capable enough to pass the data from the parent to the child. So this is the reason we have selected the data pass through. This is the notified set to just we have even like received request for the addition to look into the log whether we have received the informations or not. This is for the try and catch path we have given in the case of the successful and in the case of the any error which occurred. So in the case of the successful, it's going to this way and returning the success document. In the case of the error, it is going to set one of the properties, nothing but our the static value I have taken, and it is saying the like error occurred while processing the additions. Now this is the important one, the mappers. So this is the map set we have used. In that map set, what we are doing basically, so we have used the one of the map component. So we'll see what basically this map component is doing. So in map component, you can see we have used the one of the function called the scripting function. Okay, so this is my request in the map. So this is my the XML request profile. This is my XML response profile. And by using this function, whatever we have created one scripting function, we are mapping the request into the function part and the output of that function part. We are mapping the output to the result our the XML output profile. So let's see into the what we have done here. So with that here we have used a very simple Groovy script, the Groovy 1.5. So here the basic the opcode dot equal ignore case is add, which means if the opcode is containing the add, we are inside that the output we are capturing the operand 1 and operand 2 value. So this is the input which specify like the placeholder which basically taking the value from the request XML profile. This is the output that is nothing but the placeholder of the result. So here in the output we are adding the operand 1 and operand 2. Similar to for the opcode equals to subtraction, we are subtracting operand 1 minus operand 2. For multiplication, if you see the multiplication, we are multiplying the operand 1 and operand 2 and the result is getting stored into the output. In case of the division, we are capturing the result into output as a operand 1 divided by operand 2. If none of the condition is getting matched, by default we are returning as a output equals to 0. So by using the only one scripting map, and we have used this map shape into the different sub processes like for the addition, for subtraction, for division and multiplication. So this is the map set we are using. So which is basically on the basis of whatever the request we are getting. Okay. So this is for the addition process. So definitely for this, we will able to get the addition related request because we are using the process route shape. So we'll see in the what we are doing into the parent process. Similar way, let's see the subtraction. So similar things here you have received request for the subtraction. So this is just for the information. We'll see whether we are getting the exact request or not. And by using the try catch, it is using the same map function. Okay, calculator map here it is using the Groovy script. This is the same Groovy script. So in the case of the opcode equals to subtraction, it is going to perform the subtraction. So similar way we have done the division, and similar way we have done the multiplications. So these four operations we wanted to implement as a part of the basic calculators. Okay. Now coming to the main part, which is our the parent process. So that is nothing but our the basic calculator parent process. So here you can see the start of this process, the start shape is the no data. Here in the request, we have put the hard code value into. So you can see whatever we are putting, there is one request for the addition, another request for the subtraction, another request for the multiplication, another request for the division. So in this particular request, we have the four different kind of the request to perform the different operations. So one is for the addition, one is for the subtraction, one is for the multiplication, one is for the division. So we'll see here. I am going to use the data process. I am splitting this request, this single document into the multiple document on the basis of the request element. So here I am splitting that XML and on the basis of the request element which is available into the request XML profile. So if I will be split, I will able to get the 4 XML, or you can say the 4 documents. We'll see while we'll test it. Now this is the process route set which we are talking about. So what kind of configuration is needed for that? First of all, here in the general, the route by is going to indicate what you are doing to. So here we have selected the process route. Okay. Now into process route set, it's asking where is the route component basically. So we have already configured. Here we are going to see. So once we have created the sub process, after creating the sub process which will play the part of the your process route component. So here in the process route component under the general tab, we are make sure you are using the data pass through. Okay. The configuration return path, here we have given the success and failure, which means the process route shape is capable enough to handle in the case of the success return from the sub process, or in the case of the failure return from the sub process. Okay. You can say determine whether the document are passed through a sub process or further processing. Okay, so here I have written the success failure. If you need to add some more path, you are able to add here. But we don't have, because we use only try catch. So leave it. Okay, now it's going to the process routing. So process routing is basically the routing configuration parameters, which basically help you to identify on the basis of the keys by when the key is matching. Okay, so that particular using the matched key, your the respective direction or respective path will be taken care during the runtime. So how we have defined? So here if you see, we have defined the 4 keys: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So you'll see this is the level of addition. This is your route key. So which means that in our XML request, we have seen what we are using: operand 1, operand 2, and opcode. So in the opcode, we will have the add, sub sub, mut mult, and div div. So let me quickly show you this way. Yes. Yeah. So for us, this is the route key: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So this is the reason we are using this particular value as the part of the key here. You will see here we are using the route key. So add, and once we are using the route key as add, we are selecting the route to process. So this is nothing but my addition process. Whenever we are selecting the addition process, this is the process route return path which we have configured into the general, what we are getting from the each process. Similar way, we have to map the each path with the addition process path. So addition process path, if you see, we have the two things. Here one is the success, one is the failure, and that is going to exactly map with the success and failure. So once we'll have these things, the path once you map, so whatever the different paths are there, that is going to populate here. You need to map for the success this path, for failure this path. Similar way we have done for the subtraction also. So this is the route key, because route key we need to remember, because how this particular component of this process route component is actually matching with the process route set, because this route key is going to basically match with the route key which will be supplied during the while we'll configure the process route set. We'll see there. So remember this, the route key is the add, sub, mult, and div. And similar way we have done like here. Okay. So this is for addition. Okay. This is for subtraction. This is for multiplication. This is for division. Okay. Why it's showing the not safe? Let me check one more time. So success, failure there. Yes. Going back to again in the process. What is going? Yes. Yeah. So this is for the division, success, failure, division, the multiplication. This is for success, failure, multiplication, subtraction. This is for success, failure, subtraction. This is for the addition, success, failure. So each path, the route to process and route key, all are the configured here. So now we are done with the basically process route component configurations here. We have done. Now it's time to use the route. So this is the process route set in which we have to configure the process route. So process route basically what actually is showing, we are defining the path, means what are the different path that a sub process can return. So we have returned the success and failure. Now we have defined the route key and we have selected each and every sub process which will be participate during the process route call. And as per the route key, we have defined the one of the route key parameters, and that particular route key will going to match with this. So route parameters, whatever we have route parameter is selected, you can say calculator request XML profile opcode. So opcode is nothing but our this parameters, okay, and this parameter is basically going to match with the route key whatever we have defined in the process route component. Okay, so here we have given the route key. Okay, now on the basis of that, whenever we will use this process route set, we will get the whatever the different path we have given, so that is going to populate it, except that there will be the one default path. Okay, so if none of things are getting matched, so that will be executed here in the default path. Correct. So here if you see, we have used the success. So this process for the all the success will be go there, all the failure will be go there, and if the success failure nothing is getting matched, all the default will be there. So this is how we will configure the process route set. So here you can say the advantage is instead of using if you have the multiple processes, so you need to use the route shape and you use the process call shape, so you take the more space in terms of the design. But by using the only one component called the process route shape, we can minimize the design and let them decide on the basis of route key dynamically which sub process need to call. Okay, so let's see while testing. So this is the only the parent process we need to test it. So because there is nothing dependency related with the on premises, so let's test into the cloud and we'll see here. So how the each and every sub process call will be executed, we'll see. Yes, so you can see it is executing here. Yes. So no exception or error occurred. So seems like every sub process call was executed fine. So you can go here and you can see. Looking into the SAP source calls, you can say there are four documents. You can say the four documents. So which means that particular one request which was there has been broken into or split into the four documents. If you will start opening this document, you will see all are the different like the sum for the addition, subtraction. So this is for the add. This is for the subtraction. This is for multiplication. This is for division. So in order to test it quickly, whether either we can go through this way. So just clicking it, it will redirect you the particular addition related process. So we'll see what happens here. So here the whatever we have passed 12 and 12. So let's say the what is the result of this particular value. So it must return the value equals to 24. If everything is work fine, so you can say the 24. So instead of the going to each and everything, it is best we should go here and check the log. So if you see here log, what is the coming here? Oops, yeah. So one document processing, yeah. So you can see the split resulted into the four documents, which means the data process is splitted that particular document into the one document into the four document. And here you can see, so this is the debug, this is the info, yes. So let's see in the info. So yes, four document, yeah. So here you can see the process document with addition. Yeah, so one document route key add, correct? Okay. This is for the route key the sub. This is for route key the multiplication. This is the route key for you can say the div. So this means process route self is able to extract the route key and it is the identify the different processes. Okay, correct. So here we can be able to see. Now going to the each and every sub process. If you see this view log, here you can see the process returning one document, adding one document to return. Yes, so you can see here received request for the addition. So whatever the in the notify we have written receive request. So this is the addition. They have the receipt. Okay. So this is the for addition. Similar way go to the subtraction process. So what should be the value come for the subtraction? So 24 subtracted by 24 subtract 12. So that must be the 12. So if you see here, so the result must be the this way we'll see. So result must be the 24 minus 12. So that should be the 12. Correct. So result is 12. Perfect. Now we look into the multiplication. So what was the input for the multiplication? 20 into 12. So this must be 240. So let's see here. What is the value is there? So it must the result element contain the 240. Yes, perfect. So it is a 240. Now we have the division. So 48 divided by 2. So let's see. So this must be also the 4. So result must be 4. Correct. So here we are able to see or we understand how this process dynamically, the process is basically loaded and getting executed dynamically. So here we haven't like placed the sub process call or anything. So this is the process route set. Basically, it's by using the route parameter, and that route parameter is nothing but configured into the our process, excuse me, process route component, and on the basis of the path, success, failure, and on the basis of the keys which we have configured, it is going to establish the relation, or you can say the bind the bind the key with the sub process. So on the basis of the key, which could be your the document properties, data profile, or extension value, by using that particular the key, the sub process is getting identified, and during the runtime it is getting called and executed. Correct. So hope you like this video. Thanks for your time.